Couple of things about physical inspections. How many of you experienced a property falling out of escrow? Can I see a show of hands? Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but you're a lot more mature. So of the properties that fell out of escrow, how many of you experience commonly that's after a physical inspection? Can I see a show of hands? Really? So if it's not physical inspections, when? How many of you is it frequently an appraisal? Not recently, occasionally, right? Occasionally. So if it's not an appraisal and not an inspection, why are you letting it fall out of escrow? Right? Because if you ask the how, what, why, when question at the beginning, you found out what they want, why they want, you find out what the emotion is behind the deal, and you're in communication with that client, why would it fall out of escrow? Now, so I'm going to go into physical inspections, but did I buy you an engagement ring? Can I see it? Oh, you do? Did I buy you a wedding ring? Can I see it? Can you take it off for a second? So I'll tell you something. This little gem right here. So when I met Annette, and don't take this the wrong way, just devoted, just a wonderful, wonderful woman in many, many ways. But she had pretty rough 10 years before she met me. And I called her Princess from the beginning. So I bought her an email account, La Princesse Annette. And I spoke to her in French because I speak fluent French, and it's just fun. And so I bought her this again. And I said, I want you to know that you're a princess in my eyes. And the next 3 years of my life, I'm going to take you from the floor and build a pedestal. And after 3 years, I want you to stand on that pedestal and know that you belong there. That was one of the first conversations we had. So when it came time to do the American thing, you know, where you do that ceremony and everything,
called a wedding.
She said, she didn't say I would like a ring. I said, I would like to buy you a ring. And she said, good, I would like a what cut? Princess cut. So we had to have a princess cut. And I don't know if you know much about diamonds. If I didn't do real estate, I would do jewelry because I love jewelry. And jewelry is all about cut, color, and clarity. And one of the cuts is a princess cut. It's the most expensive, of course. And then you need cut, color, and clarity, right? Is it I? Is it G? Is it H? And then clarity. Is it VS1? Is it VVS1? Is it SI? Is it S2? All these different things. So she said, I want a clean 3-carat princess cut ring.
He asked.
Why don't you go online and just look that up for a second and have some fun, right? Be careful you don't get the diamond knockoffs. So if it's under $50,000, you're not looking at something that's real or it's the wrong color. So I found one at 2.98. No, and Michael, you need to hear this, brother, because this is like setting your goals straight, right? We talked about it on Instagram together this morning. So I found a 2.98. Nope. 2.99. Nope. Had to be 3. Finally found it in New York. 3.03. 3.03. And it was okay because she likes 3s. Now, why do I tell you all of this? So let's say this is an engagement ring. It's a wedding ring. Engagement ring is just a little bit bodacious. But the engagement ring, and basically I just took all the money I had in the bank and sent it to the jeweler and bought it. That's what I did. I just took everything I had and sent it off to the jeweler. And there you go. Now, what's my point? When young ladies, many young ladies in the room, you're all young ladies, when you want to get connected with a guy, do you not want an engagement ring? Yes or no? Why do you want an engagement ring?
And commitment.
Because it shows commitment. So engagement enhances commitment. Why do you think people fall out of escrow? Because there's no engagement. There's no engagement. Many of you lose the client because you're not engaged with the client. So that engagement is something you wear on your finger every day. I'm in escrow with John and Lucy Hernandez. They need to feel your presence every day. And when I hear somebody cancels in week 3 or week 4, it immediately tells me that agent was not engaged to that client. And what happened is another guy came along, hit on them, and they broke off your relationship. Because agents will hit on anybody.
Yes,
agents are hitters maximus. So I want to ask you this. When you put somebody in escrow, you go, oh, goody, that's one for the cruise. I'm going to go on the cruise. A week later, you call them. By now, they've received escrow instructions. By now, they've received stuff from the lender. They've completely freaked out. They've gone to bed in a ball of sweat. They prayed, and God told them in the middle of the night it wasn't his will to buy the house, and they call you and they fall out of escrow. Can I just say something? Has absolutely nothing with the dude up there. It has everything to do with the fear in their subconscious. So when you put somebody in escrow, you are getting engaged. Don't buy them some cheap-ass knockoff customer service. Give them the real thing and be in relationship with them. Now, does everybody accept what I'm saying? Are you good with that? Say yes if you accept it. All right. Online, guys, are you there? Let's see you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Lorena, you need to run to my office, get a charger, plug in my phone. It's about my computer's about to drop. Okay, next. What's the most vulnerable point in an escrow? Yes, sweetheart. Yes, sweetheart. It's the inspection. So I want to talk about inspection specifically for a minute. And guys, please jump in. Kathy, please jump in and help me. About 60% of our properties that fall out of escrow, it's because of physical inspection. Now let's talk about it. So I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts, and I'd like to see some of you writing notes, at least opening notes on your iPhone and have a little checklist. Of course, Martin, you don't need to because you're so experienced, but give yourself a little checklist and understand this. First of all, under promise, over deliver. Period. Do not be, there used to be a guy, he was rather a brutish guy, bless his heart, he didn't know any better, but he would always go up to people and say, let's say his name was Bob. You know, I'm Bob, and we're going to put it in escrow, and if there's anything wrong with this house, I'm going to fight for you, and we're just going to tell them to take a hike if they don't fix it. And 90% of what he put in escrow fell out of escrow. He eventually left the business. Curious, right? So don't overpromise. Do you know that the California Purchase Agreement specifically says the seller has no obligation to make any repairs? And did you know the contract says the seller and their agent do not have to reply to a request for repair? Did you know that? Yeah. You should be showing that to your client. Now, your client now understands what the legal premise is. Now, you're going to look at them and say, hey, this contract also says that the seller must give you disclosures and must disclose anything they know is wrong with the house. But they're going to have things they don't know are wrong with the house. My job as your agent is that we do discovery, find out everything we can, and here it comes. Here it comes. Write this down because you're not doing it. We're going to come up with a honey-do list. And I'll give you an approximation of what those repairs will cost, a couple of thousand, 3,000, whatever. You're then going to have to decide. You told me you wanted to buy this house because you wanted to be closer to your kids. You wanted less time on the freeway. You told me you wanted to buy this house because you wanted to be close to your church. You told me you wanted to buy this house because your child's being bullied and you want them in a better school district. You're going to have to decide, is that child more important than $3,000? And we're going to have that discussion. It's what I tell my clients. Now, if you find the roof's falling in, guess what? With your permission, I'm going to immediately cancel the contract. But if you find out you got some drippy faucets and there's some dirt up against the house that the gardener needs to dig away from the house for a couple of hours, your kid's schooling is probably more important, right? So I'm going to organize this physical inspection for you. Listen to me very carefully. Point number 2. You and I are going to meet at the inspection in the last 15 minutes of the inspection. Have you ever had your car repaired, your tires replaced, your oil changed, and you get down in that greasy little dugout with the greasy guy who's in the dugout and watch him undo your oil pan and bother him? No, you let him do his job. So let this guy do his job. Don't you want to find out if there's anything wrong? So if we're talking to him every 5 minutes, you're not going to find that out, are you? So what we're going to do is we're going to arrange a physical inspection. This licensed inspector is going to go out, inspect the home. We're going to meet him in the last 15 minutes, and he can run over what's called the safety features, and he'll run over the honey-do list. And at that point, we can make a decision. Is it your kid's school, or is it the repairs? And then I will help you make that decision. Now you have set a framework. What's the first part of the framework? Tell me. I just gave it to you. What's the first part of the framework? No. What's the first part of the framework? No. Yes, it's in the contract. And what is in the contract? All right, so even that's going a little bit down a rabbit hole, I think. I was very simple with these. What is professional, what's not professional? What is legal, what's not legal? When agents start using the word legal, I will immediately, you start saying the word legal to me, you'll never speak to me again. Not until we have a judgment in court. You'll speak to me by email. You'll speak to me through my attorney, because we're not lawyers. So the minute you say legal, you're pretending to be a lawyer. You just created a federal offense. Right? So I'm out. You're an agent with me and you start dropping the word legal, I'm out. We will have no further conversation. Right? So don't use that word legal. It's not your job to define the law. It's your job to operate within the law. Now, again, the framework. Point 1, the contract clearly states the seller has no obligation to make repairs. I'm going to represent you, and we're going to ask politely, and I do that through relationship because I have no right under the law to demand it, but I'm going to do my very best. And then you're going to tell me what's more important, you seeing your kids or $3,000 worth of trips to Home Depot. And you're going to tell me, and I'm going to obey what you say. Okay? Now, I'm going to now, point 2, do what? And I think, Richard, you said it. Point 2, I'm going to now do what? Order the inspection for you. Right? What's point number 3? Kathy said it. Let him or her do their job. Use my analogy. Have you ever been to the car dealership and watched them doing your service? Do you know why they don't let you do that? Because they can't do their job. But I want them to do a good job on your house, and I don't want to bother them. So we're going to set this up on Thursday. It's going to be finished around 12 at your lunchtime. I'll meet you at the house at 11:45. He will run over the main points in the house. We will discuss them together, and you'll have a written report, and I will read every page of that, and we can have another discussion afterwards. But what this is going to come down to is this house was built in 2002. And by the way, this is another element I want to share with you. One of the first things that I've done in all my career, starting in 1990, when I show people houses, the first thing I do is I walk in and I look at the ceiling. Now, Aj, you know the answer to this. Why do I look at the ceiling?
Roof leaks.
I'm looking for stains.
Roof leaks.
I'm looking for roof leak, past, present, or future. And I will say to them walking around the house, look, do you see up there this brown on the ceiling? That means at some point there was a leak. They probably repaired it, but we're going to ask and make sure that it's not an active roof leak because I don't want you to have that problem, okay? And then I'll walk in the backyard, and I guarantee you 99% of yards in California, if it's not a new house, has a wonky fence post. Wonky fence posts are my biggest closing tool. Because what happens with fences, the fence isn't falling down, the fence post is falling down 9 times out of 10 because they're embedded 12 to 18 inches in the soil. That piece rots. So it's a $22 post, and it's 2 hours of work to take that post out, dig a hole in the ground while it's already there,
the rest of the fence,
pour it with cement, put in the post, attach the fence. You got a repaired fence. But what I'll do is I'll walk in the backyard, I'll go, Michael, bring your wife over, buddy. Do you see here this fence is moving like this? Yeah, it's because that post and that post needs to be replaced. Handyman will charge you about $75 a post. Just wanted to let you know. We can talk to the seller about it, but, you know, we can go to the new homes over there and the fence is perfect. You're just going to have to decide, do you want the new home or you want this home, right? But I just want to let you know this. So now what are they doing? They're going, wow, this guy pointed out the leak in the ceiling. Wow, this guy pointed out the fence. And what am I doing? I'm building what? Trust. I'm not saying, like that big burly guy used to scream at me in my office at least every week. I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to get that fixed for you. I'm just going to go in and beat the shit out of them, right? Was basically what he said. That is not a good way to approach it, right? Or to take that legal position. Well, legally, the seller's got to, you just said the L word. Don't use that L word. So let's be clear. Number 1, establish the contract. Number 2, set up the inspection. Number 3, when you show the home, don't be afraid to point things out. Don't be an old hen describing everything, but point out the main things. You know them very well. Point out the main things. Make it clear what the legal ground is. Order the inspection. You're going to be in the last 15 minutes. You're going to review the safety standards. And what you're doing is you're employing leadership from the beginning. And that leadership, back to Annette's finger, hold it up, honey. You are creating engagement. So you might not remember what I say, but you'll definitely remember Annette's ring. Go in right now to Google and say, I need a pure 3-carat D color princess cut ring. Go in and see it. You know why I want you to do that? Do you know why I want you to do that? Do it. I'm asking you to do it. Go into Google and say, I want a D color VS1 princess cut diamond ring.
in America.
Very. Go in and say D color, not E color, not F color, not G color, not H color, not I color. D color, princess cut, 3 carats. And you'll see 1 carats come up and half carats come up and 2.98 carats come up. First of all, you're not going to find a 3-carat one. Why am I making you do this? Am I being arrogant or prideful? No. Trying to share. What am I trying to share with you? The importance of the quality of your engagement. You have a shitty engagement, you're going to have a shitty escrow. You give the girl a shitty ring, you're going to have a shitty marriage. So don't shit on your clients. Did everybody get this lesson? Say yes, Andrew. You guys want to add anything on about physical inspections?
I wanted to ask your opinion on something, and this is just more just for the group here.
Please.
So let's say we do everything, we set the expectations, because right, that's what he's talking about, setting expectations beforehand, letting you know that there's, you know, legal understandings. What if all that goes out the window? And I know some of the agents in here have experienced that recently. What if it goes out the window and the client is just like, I don't care, Andrew, I just need $10,000, I need $5,000. It's just an unreasonable amount. When they ask you that, how does Andrew Warburton handle that?
So that's a simple question for me.
Well, really, let me just jump in. Where'd they get that from in the beginning? Because let me tell you.
Okay. So the question is good,
yeah,
and his reply is good as well. Go.
Because here's what happens. Because you buyers, they went there, and while looking before they put the offer, this agent overpromised. Right? He talked about that also. I guarantee you that's what it was. I guarantee you that's what it is. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll ask for that during repair. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll ask. So now you actually get overpromised them. So depending on what the situation is, that's how'd you get there? Because what you do is you
So, and I'm just feeding the like an examples that I've seen, right?
for sure.
Oh, they go
All
Daniel.
of this is good. It's all layers.
So they go, Daniel. Okay, Daniel, dude, I know you said, you told me that, this is not, they're not going to legally required to give me
They
nothing.
still get stuck on this.
Hey, you know what though, dude? Like my brother, he's a foundation guy, and he's telling me it's gonna be like 15 grand. So I need 15 grand. That's the kind of response, like just a crazy, like there's no logic behind
So
it.
let's talk
How
about.
we handle something like that as agents. I'm sure that this
So
is
this is why these guys are going to handle regions, because they've both got so much validity here in what they're saying. What Daniel's saying is most of the time you set the expectation wrong in the first place, right? What Blake is saying is so accurate that sometimes people just pull it right out their ass. And they're suddenly asking for 15 grand. You're like, where the heck did that come from? I can, refurb an entire house for 45 grand, and you've got to pull out some rose bushes, and your gardener's telling you it's going to be 9 grand, which happens all the time. So both issues. First of all, set the expectations correctly. Let's say you do, and they just come up with a crazy idea. Now, I don't know if this is exactly the way it went down, but I'm using Mirka as an example here for a second. And I'm in no way taking any credit for the $1,150,000 property she just put in escrow. Let's hear it from Mirka, please. But we had a little chat the other day, and there was a financial issue that came up, and I want to answer Blake's specific question. Somebody says to me, I need the 15 grand. I do 2 things at once, and this is something that agents usually don't do. I do 2 things at once. There's 2 ways I know I'm going to handle that. First is this. I completely understand, right? We're going to get that written up. But now listen, it's just huge. It's huge. Please record this clip or whatever. I completely understand. I'm going to get that written up. By the way, hold on 1 second here. And in front of them, in real time, I will go on either GoWP Now or my MLS app, and I will find properties that are the same bedrooms and baths in the immediate vicinity by opening the map, tapping on them, creates a list of thumbnails, and I will share that thumbnail with them on the spot and say, while we're waiting for this $15,000, which they may not reply to, I want to be sure that you've got a house. So I just sent you 5 others. Would you pick out which one of them you want to see tomorrow? Now, what happens is people then go in, and if you're as good, frankly, as Mirka is, she's probably got the best deal in the neighborhood already. So there'll be another property similar to 100 grand more, 150 grand more. Now they've got to look at it. I got $3,000 worth of repairs that my brother-in-law is trying to screw me and charge me $10,000. Or I've got a property that's $150,000 more. Which do I want to do? But there's something very, very important here. I'm now not seeing as trying to dismiss and persuade them. I'm saying, sure, sounds great. Let's write that up. Probably not going to get it, but I'm going to fight for you. In the meanwhile, give me just a second here. Just check your text. And if those of you who know me know that I do this, literally I'll go, damn, dude, would you help me for a second? Look, and here he is. He's a phenomenal leader. And he did it because that's just psychology right there. Dan, look, I just sent you. Did you get it? Yeah. See those properties? So look, I just pulled up other properties in the area right here. Do you see those? So I want to be sure, mate, that you don't lose out on this house for your family. There's a couple of others. This one's 100 grand more. That one's 150 more. Which one of these would you like to see tomorrow?
I like this one.
Yeah, but we're probably going to have a little bit of a challenge here, and I just want to be sure that you're safe. My business is to keep you safe. So, right? So watch what I did. There's a boom.
This is 150,000 more.
Boom. So Howard just said, as the buyer, I like the 15 better than the 150. But I know what you're going to do, and it frustrates me with agents. You're not going to listen to what I say. You're going to look at them and say, there's another house up the street and it's $150,000 more. Immediately you invalidated yourself because now you're a used car salesman. This is why I've studied sales psychology for 46 years. You're creating a premise. I will do what you want, and just in case, here is what I can provide. Let's make sure that you're covered. Everybody understand? Get him a microphone because I want to hear what Martin's got to say. Ask me questions online. This is crucial. Why would you work a client 3 times? So Mirka and I had a conversation. It was a different scenario, but remember we split it into 2 parts, and we actually got in a little bit of an argument. And a lovely argument, just like, friends talking about it. And then Mirka found her sweet spot. And she went out to the client who wasn't signing that counteroffer, and the client signed the counteroffer, and she retained that client. Yes. There you go. Yep. So the crucial piece here is this. Listen, the crucial piece is that if you put all of your chips on black 7 and the wheel doesn't stop at black 7, you're out of the game. So if you put all your chips on, you need to sign this. It's the best deal in the area. There's nothing else like it. They decide not to. They just decided you're not their agent. Do you get that? So always provide options. Is everybody with me, Martin?
So you said it earlier. The biggest key is to make sure that you're constantly in communication with your client. You're always having conversations.
Yes.
Not necessarily every day, but definitely extremely frequent, especially from the beginning when you put the offer in, preempting them through the process of getting everything done. But the biggest thing that I've noticed is making sure you're paying attention to the conversation you're having with that client. Key things that you pick up on is whenever you have a client that says, oh, well, I have another relative somewhere that is a real estate agent, or he's a loan agent. Whatever the case may be that is related to the real estate industry, those are the ones that are usually always going to be trying to find a way to beat the system and ask for all the crazy stuff. Those are the ones that you always want to preempt them when you're actually, say you're going to put an offer in and you've seen the home and you point out all the necessary things that you want to point out that are very obvious. That's when you're constantly having conversations that while they're doing the inspection, there may be stuff that's going to be popping up. Not necessarily does it mean that the seller is going to do anything about it, because they don't have to. But I think it's more of an idea of how much you want this home. How much can you get involved that you can do as a project with your family together, or you can maybe you may have relatives that are, handymen and stuff.
So let's summarize what Martin said. Martin said very well here. First of all, you're staying engaged with that client. Secondly, you're showing them the path while they're doing the whole inspection process. And by the way, when the appraisal comes in, it's the same thing. So it's the engagement and showing people where you're going. The minute you become that salesperson, forcing them to make a decision they don't want, if they don't make that decision, when they decide not to go your way, they also decide not to go with you.
Martin is a seasoned agent for many, many years, and he's never, ever lost an escrow to a physical inspection. So that is why what he says is true blue, right? He's never lost an escrow to a physical inspection.
Also, unfortunately, what happens is that because, back to the ring, because agents tend not to stay engaged during the escrow, when something does come up, you are now this voice of authority that has no authority. Listen to me. I must say that again. Okay, online, I want you guys to hear this. Just show me a thumbs up if you're listening to me, would you? Lorena, can you have a look and just see who's actually engaged with us here? There's a ton of people online, right? Okay, so listen to me. You're coming in as a voice of authority when you have no authority. If you showed the home, you wrote up the contract, you put them in escrow, you didn't tell them escrow instructions were coming, you didn't tell them the loan estimate was coming, you didn't go over the loan estimate with them, you didn't show up for the 15 minutes of the inspection, and now you have to convince them to stay in the escrow. They don't see you as a friend. They see you as a salesperson. You have no authority.
Because you weren't
engaged. So now Martin said a favorite word of mine, engagement moves you towards a place of leadership. So think about it in military terms. The guy sitting back in command tent, and you're out there taking fire, trying to take an enemy position. And suddenly on the radio, this guy who's sipping tea back in the tent says, send out 50 men and take the fire. We need that hill. The men will do it because they're afraid of mutiny or whatever it's called. But that's not leadership, is it? But he comes out of that tent, weapon drawn. You see him crawling across the ground with you, and he's out in front of you. You're going to go wherever he goes. That's what people need to see with us. They need to see engagement. Does this help everybody? Yes.
I think got something.
I'm sorry.
Very important part that you said earlier was, have your client be there with you that last 15 minutes with the inspector. Make sure you have an inspector you're familiar with, because they're going to tell them what are safety items, what really needs to be taken care of here. And then they're also going to tell your client what is normal wear and tear for a house that age. Because if you aren't there with them at that last 15 minutes,
100%.
You're going to get a report that's 50 pages long that points out anywhere from a crack in the driveway to a pinhole in the wall, and they're going to freak out. So you need to make sure your inspector is good, and you need to make sure they're there along with you, because otherwise this is where the trouble starts, especially if you're a new agent.
So Kathy said something very wise there. I'd like to see somebody online put it into the chat. What did she say? It was 4 words that she said that was so powerful. I'm going to ask you in the room here in a minute. Anybody online, did you hear those 4 words?
Book Jeff as an inspector.
You ask a physical inspector, what is there that is not? What are those 4 words? See, that worries me. There's 50 people online and nobody heard that, which is why we encourage you to come to the room. What did Kathy say?
Normal wear and tear.
So, yes. So what is safety? What is not a major concern? What is normal wear and tear? Do you think, okay, let me ask you this. Anybody in this room over 40? Do you look the same as you did when you were 20?
Yes.
I've gotten better.
So you're going to kick out your spouse because they got a couple of wrinkles? This house is going to have some wrinkles. See, I'm making it real now. You get it? You don't divorce your husband because he's 20 years older, or your wife because they're 20 years older, because you've got engagement. You're invested in something together. So, and again, we can stop with this because we could talk about it all day long. But listen, on the WIN team, by the way, and there's still 25 of us or so, we're learning so much. And just to open it up to all of you, just go to the winteamzoom.net, join me in the mornings. Something that we're talking about a lot in this category. And I just lost my train of thought, which is why I'm stalling. Yes. So new homes. I keep sharing with you, when you show homes, do you know where the new home developments are? Whether they want a new home or not, while you're showing, take them to a new home development. And if all you say is, look, I got to drop in for a client, there's a really cool new home development nearby with 3% interest rate. I just got to drop in for 2 minutes and pick something up. Would you follow me? And then I'll lead you to the next house. That client, 9 times out of 10, will go into that new development with you. When they go into that new development, you're going to get 3%. They're going to get 2.99% interest rate. You're going to have minimal work. You're going to close and you're going to get paid. And if they don't want it, and they make it clear to you, yeah, this is not for us, you ask the salesperson, what's the taxes here? Oh, It's 3.5% a year, right? Okay. So at 800, there's 24,000 taxes. Okay. Why did I do that?
Make sure they
A, to make sure that they don't go behind your back and you lose the commission. Secondly, that they've now got a data point.
clear understanding.
Thank you. In their heads, that when they've got to repair a couple of windows and a couple of this and that, you can look at them and say, remember that new home I sold you to? Now that's about 24,000 a year in taxes. This one is about 11. So it's 13, it's $1,000 a month on maintenance. Which would you prefer? Because I'm good with either. Would you prefer to do the $1,000 a month, or would you prefer to stay with this one? Do you know how many times I've said that? So now you've given a reference point in your inspection. Guys, I get it. It's kind of like me. I'm more wrinkled, but my wife hasn't kicked me out yet. This house is more wrinkled, right? There's some wrinkles in this property. If we want a new one, divorce is expensive, and it's called Melrose. You've now made a very realistic, life-aware comparison. Does everybody understand where I'm going?
And if you don't have a physical inspector or a company, we do. We have a list that we trust, we love. Many of you have used them all. You can come to us, and we'll let you know.
And Jeff,
Go ahead. Yes, please ask questions. I'd love to see that. Huh?
Thanks, plugging Jeff.
Yes. Trang's husband does inspections. And where do we now, do we have a list of people that we post online?
Yes, and we also have on the new car form that's out that we have to use now. We have 3 inspectors.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So we have recommendations for you. All right. TWT agents, please, everybody, you are calling us every day asking questions that are literally a tap of the thumb away, right? So Cameron, would you come up for a second, grab a mic? Cameron's going to walk us for a minute through twtagents.com. Is that Glenn? What's Glenn saying? Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you, brother. Be lovely, Lorraine, if you see comments, just flag me on them. Okay. All right. So let's go. Can you take us to TW2 agents? Okay. All right. Go ahead. So go ahead, Cameron, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Man. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Yeah, exactly what Andrew said. Everything that you need to know about anything TWT is on twtagents.com. From protocols to buyer listing packets, reveal, Bob, all the training, the boot camp. We've been talking about the training a lot for onboarding, Zillow, anything. I'm just going to go through like literally 2 minutes. I want to make this ASAP. Let's see. Let's go to share screen. And then share screen, and then start broadcasting. And here we go. It'll pop up on here in a second. But everybody online, let me know if you guys can see it online. You should be able to see it online right now. Perfect. All right, cool. So there's a homepage. There's a lot of quick links on the homepage. Like I said, I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. From signing up for the Win Team with Andrew, TWT leads, you get access to our Blitz leads, our bilingual leads, our listing leads, any of our financial friends. So iCore's in the house over there with Sonia. We have Patriot Pacific or Christian, and Oscar is right there too. And so any sort of like property alerts, re-engaging leads, follow-up processes, all the training, all that good stuff is on Quick Leaks on the homepage. And then the main page that I know a lot of new agents are going to revert back to is I hit the menu at the top right-hand corner. So the little the little 3 dots, little hamburger sandwich. And so a lot of you will most likely, so any sort of leads that you want to get is on the TWT leads. I know a lot of you, especially the newer agents, are going to go to and gravitate over to the crash courses and the training. And so the Fast Start crash course is there, Buyer Conversion Mastermind, where Andrew teaches you how to convert leads at the highest level.
Let's slow down for just a second. It's really good what you're saying. Go back up to Fast Start.
Yeah.
You're going so fast because you built all this, right?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Go back to your homepage.
Yeah, homepage.
TWT agents. And you can hit the sandwich at the top right-hand corner, the 3 lines. It's called an ellipsis.
Yes.
Tap on the ellipsis.
And then, whoops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then on training, so where I'm going into is the training.
Bottom there is training. Oh, what happened?
There we go. So now the training, move that over. And then in here is
Fast start. That's what I want to focus on.
Yes, is where you get access to all of our crash courses. So
when you join us, you're going to go to Fast Start. And in Fast Start, there's a series of courses. It'll take you 4 or 5 days to go through them. How you use Lofty, how you use Follow-Up Boss, how you get it. No, keep it on Fast Start. Go up. Right? How you do everything you need to start making money with us.
Yes.
At the end of each of the videos, there's a questionnaire. And as long as you get 70%, it will let you through to the next video. When you've done all the videos, it's 5 or 6 videos, you're ready to go. Then you'll get a call from Kathy, you'll get a call from Jenny and the ISAs, and you're ready to go for leads. So if you're new to us, jump on Fast Start and get Fast Start done. Now scroll a little bit further and explain the others.
Yes. So yes, all of this training is basically where do you get leads and how do you convert them, to make it very simple. And it's really that simple. Like so all of you know, I got my license and I'm learning a lot from Andrew being here in the office, and Annette, and basically all you guys, like Blake, all that good stuff. And so I'm starting to learn something very, very interesting, which is real estate. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple in the sense that you get leads, you convert them. It's really simple. And so all of our training is dedicated to that. From a tech perspective, here's the technology we use to convert the leads and get the leads. Here are the scripts you use in order to get the leads and convert the leads. And here's the protocol we use in order to convert the leads. It's really, really simple. Get leads, convert leads, get leads, convert leads. Very simple game. And so all this training evolves around all of that. And it's basically taking Andrew's 40 years of experience and putting it in video form. And that's what's in there. And so buyer conversion mastermind, how do I convert leads at the highest level using our protocol and Andrew's sales experience from his 40 years.
So that buyer conversion mastermind has our buyer presentation. You can go through that presentation. There's a questionnaire at the end, tells you exactly what to say, how to say it, questions at the end. You're good to go. Trust me, we did not make it complicated. You can go in there and spend maybe a couple hours a day for 4 days, and you're good to go. We want you to be comfortable. And you may be, here's something that we do notice. Sometimes people come in and they've sold 10, 15 million a year, and you come in and you use the same tools and techniques that you use for personal business. It doesn't work because it's in a totally different type of client, right? Okay, so it's important that you learn the systems that we've learned over the last literally 20,000 leads we've had come in. It's just a little different. So you just set down what you know for a minute, pick up some new knowledge, combine the two. Does that make sense to everybody? All right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, yes. So the tech side, the technology we use, FUB 101, that's in there. Lofty 101 is in there. How to set up property alerts and everything that comes along with Lofty. Zillow Flex leads. This is getting the leads from the ISA team. How you get it through iconnect, and then reaching back out and following up with these leads through your outbound efforts. And then yeah, and then here's all our events. Any sort
So
of
you see their TWT videos? You can tap on there. Can you just tap on that for a second?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
What's really good about this whole system is it's all on here. So you're going to go through it. You're going to pass them all, but you can always go back if you didn't quite understand it. So because there are so many systems, you're not going to go through it once and say, I've got it.
That's right.
It's always there for you to keep going back and reviewing it.
So tap on access all TWT trainings.
Yes.
And there's literally a plethora of trainings past every week. This training is going to be up within 24 hours. You can watch it again, scroll down. Everything you can imagine that we talk about here is within this training framework.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All there for you. All right. Go ahead, Cameron.
Yeah, all the video content. Andrew's win team is there. Our listing mastermind is in here. So the actual presentation that Andrew went through in order to convert seller leads that we get, from the buyer packet to, again, to protocol, scripts, everything's in there. our iconnect. All of our iconnect videos are in here. Our conversion lab videos are in here.
So this iconnect piece is really important. Did you see how you got here? So you went to TWT agents, you went to the ellipsis, you went to training, you go into training, you go into the videos, and in the videos, there's I think 14 iconnect videos. You can learn everything about iconnect. It's all right here, right? So we're just growing so fast right now, guys. It's just not possible to answer everybody's question one at a time. We try, but it's not possible. Just jump on here and it's all there.
Yes. Yeah. Follow boss videos are in there, getting your follow boss set up, getting your lofty set up, property alerts. Again, a bunch of videos on how do I get leads, how do I convert leads. That's it.
Perfect. Can you very quickly go back to TWT agents and go to the closing when you put something in escrow? There's a process.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big deal for us right now because, James.
Has the BRBC been updated on that? Because I think we had the old one.
No. We need to put the new BRBC on there. But good question. Thank you. Yep.
So I'm on the homepage right now for anybody who opens escrow. This is not only in our Slack channel. If you go into general at the top, it's going to say submitting escrow. It takes you to the same link that I'm about to show you right now. If you go to the homepage, so I'm just on the homepage of TWT, and I'm scrolling down to upload a new escrow form. And so when you get into escrow, you get into contract, you get to that offer accepted, you come here, you tap on it. It's so simple. You just fill out this form. That's it.
So I want to just sit on this for a second. Okay. So we're now doing San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, desert. Think about it. It's a big ass area. So we have to be organized. Business builders, we're meeting them immediately after this. So the business is developing. When you have an organization, it's really important that we all communicate with each other in synergy. Because then you've got managers who maybe you're out showing and you go, look, Andy, I'm too busy. I can't tap on an app. You're too busy. But an hour later, we're meeting with Zillow and Zillow says you didn't hit target, but you've actually got an escrow that you didn't tap on. So next month we get 100 less leads because you didn't tap on your app. So when you tap on that app and you communicate through Follow Up Boss, guess who owns Follow Up Boss? Zillow. Zillow reads in Follow Up Boss. And so we often have conversations with them and they go, look, we notice, agent X, like Aja, for example, is the worst. No, I'm teasing. So they'll say, and Aja's like a model. That's why I can joke about her. But they would say, for example, we notice with Aja, she's yellow in the system. She's taken 14 leads, hasn't put one in escrow, doesn't have anything in escrow this month. You can't send her any more leads. And then it goes beyond that because William didn't do it either. James didn't do it either. I'm picking all the strong people so I don't get offended. Jonathan didn't do it either. Now, because 4 people didn't do it, the rest of us get 150 less leads the next month. So the communication piece is first and foremost to make sure that we sustain the volume of leads with Zillow. Secondly, that the client gets optimal service. Third, that we manage our business as professional business people. And fourth, that we're able from an accountable management level to know what all the agents are doing so that we can help you further. Does it make sense? You have to move your mindset from the 1990 mindset. I'm too busy. I've got an open house. I can't sign a report. That was okay in 1990 because nobody talked to each other. Now it's a very different world. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Some of you, I need to tell you that you're good by going in and filling out this form, but some of you are not putting your lender in there and you're putting little asterisks. So I don't know who your lender is. And whenever we get an opening escrow, I get tagged, closing department gets tagged. And I know who you are. You're not filling in all the proper forms. You're putting an asterisk in or something. I need you to please, you have the information, put the information. If the financial friend changes, let the closing department know. But when you get an offer accepted and you open an escrow, you have the lender. Put it on the form, okay? Fill out all of the things. Don't put like an asterisk or a star or something like that because we need all of your information. Thank you.
Right. Back to you, Cam. We'll wrap it up.
But yeah, that's the form that you fill out. and we all, our entire team gets notified on this. Basically, Zillow gets notified on this, and so there you go.
Pretty much everything we do now is built around automations, right? And those automations, you just got to get it, guys. That enables us to negotiate with Zillow. Where they send us the leads, what zip codes. All they're just going to do is go and look in and go, well, this lady, Sonia, who's Sonia? Look at her. She just put 3 properties in escrow. She's filling out stuff on FUB. They have what's called a FUB engagement KPI. And they go, we need to get more leads in that area. You've got a strong agent there, right? So that's the whole idea, is that we provide that data in real time. Zillow analyzes that data and we do better. Does it make sense? Okay. All right. Let's give Cameron a round of applause, because that's absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much.